Mordechai, how's everybody doing? Imi, Rusbas Mordechai. Now we had a little shmooze about Wi-Fi. Today's shir is being sponsored L'Refuah Shlema for a very dear friend of ours, somebody that watches the shir, Yaakov Yehuda ben Gittel L'Refuah Shlema, and by Ira Greenstein, L'Zeicha Nishmat, Menachem Lichtenstein, Kurt Lichtenstein, Menachem ben Meir. Rabbi Isai, check this out. Tremendous simcha, we got the good word, and this has ramifications to the shir. My brother, you're all very familiar with my sister-in-law, Shoshana Razia Basilka. They're making their first simcha. They had their first simcha last night. Their daughter, Ruthie, got engaged to Moshe Deutsch from Lakewood. If you're familiar with Avram Yosef. Yesterday, before they got engaged. But anyway, what this means is that I probably have to go to a chasana soon in America. Okay, so I'm not that uptight like I was from brachas till Eruvin whenever I left. I got used to the idea that I could fly and I probably could get away with not missing a shir. Although there's a shaila, David Agal, the whole shaila. Rabbi Isai, I want to give you a life lesson, and that is never ever start up with a Moroccan Jew. And never say that they wear two pairs of tefillin when you don't know what you're talking about. Here I am on this national shir, and I'm going to have charata barabim because I was threatened. My life was threatened. My family's life was threatened. They don't wear two pairs of tefillin. What are you talking about, Eli? It's mekubalim that wear two pairs of tefillin. I'm sorry. I'll never say that again. I guess we have a few Moroccans that watched the shir. It was not good. What is this? Upside down. Here's a Makubal Chas V'Shalom. You could even see he's lighter skin. Well, Moroccans are not that dark skinned. Fine. Right, here's a very long email. I have to read this somehow quickly. To my Rebbe Eli, I don't get to see you live in the morning show anymore because I go to Minyan at 7:30. Not good. Don't go to Minyan at 7:30. So I follow your share later in the day on YouTube. Your share today brought me all the way back to my bar mitzvah since the mission in the beginning of Parak Yud about tefillin, the basis of my bar mitzvah pshat, which I delivered in Yiddish in my shtibel in Borough Park. I had an older cousin who was learning yeshiva and prepared it. Kitzer, he was very upset when 5 months later his bag was stolen, but fortunately 15 years later, had a bar mitzvah, the same pshetel. I'm not sure if you remember that a number of years ago, before I made an aliyah, I was visiting my son and family in RBS. This is Josh Schreiber. The one that wrote is Joe Schreiber. And I wound up sitting in front of you at Mincha, being the mensch that you are. You introduced yourself and asked who I was. You said that you knew my son Josh because he comes to your shir at night, and you even showed me some charts that you had prepared for the evening shir. You invited me to come to shir. You see, there are other missionaries out there. I did come that night. I was one of about 10 people there. The night shir, I don't remember, but okay. I joined the shir for good during Masechta Shabbos at the urging of my son Josh and persistent with your friend Yeshua. And I haven't missed a daf since Masechta Shabbos. That's 157 plus 97. You do the math. It's the first time I've studied Gemara daily in over 50 years. 50 years. I'm so glad and impressed with how you expanded this year and have been able to teach Torah throughout the world. I'm waiting for the day that you'll tell us that you have followers in Baharat and in the UAE. Is that how you say it? The Kitzer in United Emirates over there. Thank you for being my Rebbe. May we continue to spread Torah throughout the world for 120 years. Joe Schreiber, Ranana, Yishkoyach Joe. We're in the middle of an amazing sugya, a crazy daf today, unbelievable, a Veltz daf, like a Shas daf. We had a machloikus, if you found tefillin on Shabbos, how many pairs could you save at a time? Tanakama, 1 pair, Gamliel, 2 pairs. Amazing Gemara. It's difficult to wrap your head around what's going on here. I'll do my best to just show you in writing how it works, sort of. There's 5 ways to understand this machloikus. Yesterday, without you realizing, we did 3, and today we're only going to do 2 very simple things. But if you look at it the machloikus is what we learned yesterday, because YouTube went off like a minute too early, Yosef asked me to repeat, so I'll repeat. But it's good, geschmack, to repeat. The machlokes perhaps is, how much room does a head contain? Could you physically do what this individual is doing? Does it have room for 2 tefillin or not? But everybody would agree. I did kula moedim machlokes. In other words, everybody agrees that Shabbos is not a time for tefillin. Machlokes is how much room do you have on your head. Or everybody agrees that the head has room for 2 tefillin. The machlokes is the reverse, the exact opposite of the first pshat. Machlokes is Shabbos a day that you wear tefillin or not? And memela, could you wear 2 pairs? It's Bal Taisif. If Shabbos is a day, or everybody agrees Shabbos is a day for tefillin. But the machlokes is mitzvahs strichas kavana or not. So if mitzvahs need kavana, so you need to be mechaven in order to be over and Bal Taisif. It's chap, according to the second pshat of Rashi. The first pshat is the exact opposite. And today we're going to learn that everybody holds mitzvahs loy tzrichas kavana. The machlokes will be, does Bal Taisif apply to when you don't have kavana? Imagine, I don't even want to have kavanah in this mitzvah, and I did the mitzvah twice. Do I get a aveira for doing the mitzvah when I didn't even intend to do a mitzvah? And then finally, we're going to see today, what happens if you do a mitzvah when it's not even a mitzvah? On Shabbos, let's say. Shabbos is not a day for tefillin, if you hold it's not a day for tefillin, and I put on tefillin, am I over on Bal Taisif? Is there a little bit of a mitzvah, some sort of remez of a mitzvah, and then I'm over on the Bal Taisif, even though there's no mitzvah at all today to do the tefillin? Like shaking a lulav on Pesach. Could I be over on Bal Taisif? There's no mitzvah to shake lulav, but I shook it. Over. Okay. So says the Gemara, top of Daf Tzadik Vav, Amud Aleph. Right where we need to be holding, Baruch Hashem, and only 3 minutes into Shir. Okay. V'i bayis ema, and if you want, we could say pshat, a 4th pshat. In this machlokes, again, what's the machlokes? How many pairs of tefillin could you save? 1 pair or 2 pairs? The kulal melotzeis loy bay kavana. In order to be yaitza a mitzvah, let's say I'm spacing out when I say Kriya Shema, I'm yaitza without having intent because I just did a mitzvah. V'hacha. But the big machlokes is la'avor mishum Bal Taisif k'miflagi. But when I don't have intent to do the mitzvah, and I did an extra mitzvah, without intent, am I over for doing an extra mitzvah? I didn't even have an intent to do a mitzvah. So how could I be over on doing an extra mitzvah when I didn't have intent? It's a very interesting shaila. I could only save 1 pair of tefillin because if I save 2, and even though my intent is not to wear tefillin today, my intent is to save these tefillin from damage. But I'm over on Bal Taisif without even thinking about it. It's not true. In order to be over on Loy Soisif, you shouldn't add another mitzvah. You have to do a mitzvah. You have to say, 2 pairs of tefillin. But I'm not wearing my tefillin, I'm saving tefillin. So why should I be over an aveira? Why is that an aveira? And the 5th and final pshat is, everybody agrees Shabbos is Lavzman tefillin. So the Gemara starts off, you're right. If you would agree that Shabbos is a day that you can wear tefillin, you don't need to have kavana. You don't need a kavana to make the mitzvah. You don't need a kavana to be over on Bal Taisif. But everybody agrees that Shabbos is Lavzman tefillin. And if it's Lavzman tefillin, it's a very fundamental shaila. Can I be over on adding a mitzvah when the mitzvah doesn't even apply today? You would have a hard time explaining how are you over then? You're a woman and you put on tefillin, let's say. I'm saying, let's say a woman is not chayiv tefillin. She's not chayiv tefillin, so how could she be over on Bal Taisif? It's not extra, it doesn't even exist. It's like fasting on a Tuesday for Yom Kippur. It's not Yom Kippur today. Like it doesn't apply. At the end of the day, the Tanakama says, listen, you're performing a mitzvah. You're putting on tefillin. Today's not a day of tefillin, but you're doing a mitzvah of tefillin. And you're chayiv for that. You're over on Bal Taisif. There's zero remez, says Rashi. There's no hint of a mitzvah here. And if there's no hint of a mitzvah, I can't be over an aveir of doing a mitzvah that doesn't exist. Says the Gemara, that's true. So how could you save one pair of tefillin on Shabbos? Wearing one pair is also Bal Toisef. La halacha, you're not allowed to wear any tefillin today. If you hold Shabbos lavzman tefillin, like we just said, the fifth pshat is, if you look over here on this chart, I recommend looking at this just to wrap your head a little bit better. You'll see that it starts off Shabbos lavzman tefillin, Shabbos zman tefillin, and ends off Shabbos lavzman tefillin. It goes from Shabbos lav, Shabbos yes, Shabbos not. I had another column here which I took out today. The other column is tefillin a tachshit or not a tachshit? But for the most part, it's a tachshit. 90% of this is a tachshit. There's one part over here in the second thing that's not a tachshit. So I decided not to confuse everybody with tachshit and not a tachshit. Fine. At any rate, I'm surprised the art scroll didn't have this chart. I could have cheated right off the art scroll. Says the Gemara, sorry. So according to Rabbi Meir, and we're discussing, Shabbos is not a day of tefillin. So how could you save one pair of tefillin? Putting on one pair is Bal Toisef. Here's a case of being over Bal Toisef, of wearing one pair. Love him to be over on Bal Toisef. Shaking one lulav when it's not sukkos is Bal Toisef. As an example. So wearing one pair of tefillin on a Shabbos is Bal Toisef. V'oid hayoshem b'shmini basukah yulka. Shmini Atzeres in America, in Chutz La'aretz, in England. In Eretz Yisrael, it's Simchas Torah. But Shmini Atzeres, what is it? Machloikis, Kiddush, not Kiddush, I don't know. But you go in the sukkah, you sleep in the sukkah, and you make a t'nai. If today's Yontif, it's a Safek Yontif. If today's Yontif, I'm Yoitze. If not Yoitze. I don't know if you say those words, but it's a t'nai, Rashi says. So, but how could you, at the end of the day, Bal Toisef. So, Elo machvarto, kedushanini meikara, Rashi learns, so we have to go back all the way up the list to the second one, to the blue. Machlokes is Shabbos zman tefillin or not zman tefillin. That's the shayla. If you hold, is it a day that you wear tefillin? Could you save one pair or two pairs? Machvarto kedushanini meikara. Now, okay.
Why back to that one? Why not all the rest of them?
So the Rishonim discuss why Rashi said pick that one. Okay, different time. We have a lot of other stuff. Uman Shabbos le'Shabbos zman tefillin. So who is this Tana? I think I was going to go through different scenarios to see who is the person that holds that you can wear tefillin on Shabbos. The Gemara starts off saying Rebbe Kiva. The Sanyo. Now, V'shamarta zachuka azois lemoyado miyomim yomimo. I know you're not going to be able to read this, but just this is Parshas Kaddish. It appears in your tefillin. I know, it's very small. I get it. Because it's a lot of, I just did it for I don't know if you could see even the red. Kaddish. What's going on here, I just did it for one reason. Pasuk, this is in Shmooze Perek Gid Gimel, Pasuk Beis, Kaddish, that's for the Parsha Kaddish, one of the 4 Parshas in your tefillin. What does this parsha discuss? Yitzias Mitzrayim, Pesach. Asher Yitzosim Mitzrayim, Pasuk Vav, Toichal Matzois Yiyochel, Pasuk Ches, Vigata Levincha. The famous Psukim. All of a sudden, Pasuk Tes talks about tefillin. And it finishes off though, Kibiyot Chazaka Yitziacho Hashem Mimitzrayim. So this is the parsha. The parsha is about Pesach, about Yitzias Mitzrayim, and there's a mention of tefillin. So the machlokes here, the following pasuk Yud, that's the pasuk we just read. V'shomarto es achuko hazois lemoyado miyomim yomima. Watch this chayk. Be careful with it. Miyomim yomima. What's miyomim? For days and days, days upon days. So this machlokes. Does this pasuk go on everything we just learned? In other words, on Pesach, or it's on the previous pasuk only. The previous pasuk, is talking about tefillin. So this pasuk is telling you, be very careful with tefillin. Don't miss tefillin. When? Miyomim yomima. Okay. So now we understand what's going on here. Not just in context. It comes after 10 psukim of 9 psukim discussing Pesach. One of them happens to be talking about tefillin. Hachukah Azayis could l'chayr mean the entire parak, the entire parsha of Kaddish. So, Yomim v'loy leilos. So we have this interesting word here, mi yomim yomima. So we could darshan, Rabbi Kiva darshans, mi yomim. We're talking about tefillin here, and it's telling us when you wear tefillin during the daytime, only during the daytime, and not at night. But you have an extra mem in green. Yomim. Mi means from, partial. Not all days do you wear tefillin. La'afuke, v'loy kol yamim. Mi yamim, v'loy kol yamim. Prad, l'shabbos es v'yamim toivim. We don't wear tefillin on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Divrei Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Sorry, so this is Rabbi Yossi Aglili, not Rabbi Kiva. We don't wear tefillin on Shabbos. We're looking for the Manda Omer that says you do wear tefillin on Shabbos. Rabbi Kiva Omer, lo nemar chuka zu elali in Pesach b'levad. This pasuk is not talking about tefillin. Yes, you're right, it appeared right in front of this pasuk. But it's talking about the entire parasha. And it's telling you, be careful with Pesach. So what does Yomim Yomima mean? You don't have Pesach every day of the year. It's referring from year to year. Mi Yomim Yomima. Okay. So he doesn't go through this whole drasha. Ask the Gemara if that's the case. Let's just ask a question from Rabbi Kiva. These are two mitzvahs that you chayiv kares. If you don't do Milah, you're over on Pesach, you chayiv kares. Mitzvahs asay, these are mitzvahs asay. Leimed the like Rabbi Kiva. L'chayra, this doesn't go according to Rabbi Kiva. Why? Dear Rabbi Kiva, kivin the mukila bePesach, lav nami yika. Look, this pasuk is telling us that it's a lois asay. Pesach is a lois asay. How do I know? Because anytime it mentions one of these three words, and look, this pasuk mentions the word hishamer, bishamarta. Be very careful. Be very careful means you're over in a loisase. So why are you telling me that Pesach is a kares? And if you're over on Pesach, yid chametz, you don't bring a carbon because it's not a loisase, it's an asay. No. According to Rabbi Kiva, that this pasuk v'shamarta is talking about Pesach, not tefillin. So now I have a loisa say on Pesach. You should have to bring a carbon. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara, Filu Tamer Rabbi Kiva. Not so simple. Hishomer de lav. When the word Hishomer is referring to a pasuk that says a loisa say like Hishomer b'negat tzoras. That's a loisase. So then the word Hishomer is telling you that it's when it's don't do something, don't cut the tzaras, then the Hishomer is a loisase. Hishomer, the asay. But in this pasuk, should keep this mitzvah. Do it. Do Pesach. Eat matzah. So Mela, then the Hishomer flips into a asay, and therefore you don't have to bring a carbon for Pesach. But at any rate, so we have a mandamar for now. For this second, we have Rabbi Kiva L'chayra who says that carbon that Shabbos is a time for wearing tefillin. You can wear tefillin on Shabbos. Ask the Gemara of Rabbi Kiva Shabbos man tefillinu. V'tanya Rabbi Kiva oimer I would think that you could wear tefillin on Shabbos and Yom Tov. This Rabbi Kiva, who you're accusing, so to speak, of saying that you should wear tefillin on Shabbos, he says mefurish. You would think that you should wear tefillin on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Ois. I don't know if there's a translation even in English. The article translates it to a sign. I think there must be like a better, deeper word. Ois. Okay, there's a sign. There's a sign between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, mi shetzrichen ois. Yatzu elu shehin gufan ois. There are 3 oisos in Judaism. There are 3 signs that you are one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bris Milah, Shabbos, and Tefillin. So let's look at Rashi for a second. Mishat Tzrichen Ois. 8 lines from before becomes wide. Mishet tzrichin ois, yomim sheYisrael tzrichim lahamid ois al atzmam. There are days that Klal Yisrael have to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a sign between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lahakir, to recognize shehem machzikim b'teiras shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amazing. What's this ois? To show HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to show everybody, we are Jews. We keep the Torah. So therefore you have to wear tefillin. You put tefillin on your head, you say, I'm part of this club. I believe in Hashem, I keep His Torah. But on Shabbos and Yantiv, Shin Atzmanois, the day itself is the sign ben HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Oh, beautiful. This is a beautiful Rashi. Mark it down. Tzadik Vav Amud Aleph. D'chsiv ki oisi beini v'nechem. Shabbos is the sign. It's such a sign that in fact, if you wear tefillin, you're negating the sign. I already have a sign. What are you putting on another sign? You don't put on two things. So we have the Shabbos. You don't need tefillin. Tefillin is no good. Today, you don't wear tefillin. So let's see inside. You only wear tefillin on a day that you need a sign. So therefore, it can't be Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva holds mefurish that on Shabbos you do not wear tefillin. You don't need tefillin. You have an ice already. You don't need it. So what are you telling me? It's Rabbi Akiva that says you can wear tefillin on Shabbos. Okay, so we're done with Rabbi Akiva. Eli Tanu D'Tanya. Now, by the way, before we go weiter, I'm telling you, these sugyas, there's so much going on here. I spent a good hour just like leafing through the back of the Masifta, the stuff upon stuff. But one of the things, if you want, you can look in top of Tosfos over here. 2 lines into the top Tosfos. Ul chayra, ein lahaniach tefillin b'chal hamoed. This is the sugya. This is the reason why people don't wear tefillin on Chol Hamoed. Machlokes between Chasidim and Litvaks. Or, in this case, the Gronics are like Chasidim. You don't wear tefillin on your Chol Hamoed. Why? She'ein tzarich ois. You don't need a sign on Chol Hamoed. Why? Look what Taisa says here. The asur b'melacha b'davar she'ein avid. You can't go to work. You can't work on Chol Hamoed. I saw in a sefer, maybe it was Gaiva Delio or something like that, that if you go to work, then you have to wear tefillin. If you're shaking and you work on Chol Hamoed, then there's no ice for you, baby. You gotta wear tefillin. Fine. I'm just making that up. Not Allah l'maisa. Void the chay b'sukkah b'chag. Look, you have to sleep in the sukkah. You have to eat in a sukkah on Chol Hamoed. You don't have a heter. Or b'peitzach also b'achilas chametz. You can't eat pizza on Chol Hamoed. V'chein pasuk b'alachos does. Avo b'Yerushalmi. And here's the machlokes. Mashman tzach. Okay, fine. There's many sugyas here. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. Women chayiv and Torah and tefillin, and this is massive stuff that we're not going to get into. We'll touch upon it maybe. So who holds that on Shabbos you wear tefillin? The Tanya. Haner b'laylo. If somebody was up at night, rotza choyletz, rotza maniach. If he wants, he can take off his tefillin. If he wants, he can put on his tefillin. Divi Rebbe Nasan. Only right here. No, he's not going to ask me, but he's going to preface it like he knows that I'm going to ask it. So he says, okay. So Yonis one time. Ein manichin tefillin b'laylo. You don't put on tefillin at night. Mid laylo l'tanakamo zman tefillin. In other words, think about it. L'chayra. If you darshan this, then you darshan everything. Mi yamim v'loy leilos. Nights, not nights. Mi yamim, not Shabbos. So they're one and the same l'chayra, no? Not nights, not Shabbos. That's if you're a Rebbe Akiva, you don't darshan nights, so you don't darshan Shabbos. This pasuk is not even talking about tefillin. This pasuk is talking about Pesach. So the Tanakama zman tefillin. So the Tanakama doesn't agree with this drasha yamim. Shabbos not zman tefillin. So then he doesn't agree with anything. Then both drushes, the green and the red, don't apply l'chayra. So the Gemara, whoa, why did you come up with that? Because if you think about it, Rebbe Akiva says one out of the two also. So maybe he also says one out of the two. Dil masrile laila zman tefillinu. Shabbos loves zman tefillin. We just established that Rebbe Akiva agrees that you don't wear tefillin on Shabbos, even though he doesn't darshan this word. He holds that you don't wear tefillin on Shabbos, but he holds you could wear tefillin at night. You can wear tefillin at night. Shabbos loves zman tefillin. Okay. Elo, no, right. So who is it? Elo haitano. Who is the Tana that says that you can wear tefillin on Shabbos? The Sanyo Michal Bas Kushi Hoyso Menachas Tefillin. Wow. Why is her name Michal Bas Kushi? Who is she? She's the daughter of Shaul HaMelech. She is the wife of David HaMelech. She thought in her heart, when she saw David HaMelech dancing, she thought he's a Meshuggah. So she got punished, she never had children. Just for thinking, that's the madrega she was on. She was on such a high madrega. If you think about it, why is Shaul HaMelech called Kushi? Like a Kushi that's different, so was Shaul different. He was such a tzaddik, he had kemat zero averis. We even learned, even Noiv, all the Hariga Noiv, Ruach Shtos, it wasn't him. He chased David HaMelech, he was mechuyev to chase David HaMelech. That was his job to do. It seems like he was greater than David HaMelech even. So we learned, Shaul was in the mechitza of Shmuel Hanavi. He's going to go, he's in with Shmuel. And his daughter Michal is also Michal Bas Kushi. She was on a very high madrega, and she wore tefillin. They say, I saw the Ben Yehoyada says that she wore be a zgula for her to have children. Tefillin is a zgula for children. So she figured, so therefore, Chachamim didn't make a macha. We're getting to the proof here. Vishtoi shel Yoina Hanavi, Yoina, she would be oila l'regel. Now, ali l'regel, obviously, as Gemara is going to say, 3 times a year, mitzvah seisha zman grama. V'lo michu b'chacham. Midlo michu b'chachamim, from the fact that Chachamim never said a word to her, alma kusabri mitzvah say, shalei zman grama hi. If tefillin you don't wear on Shabbos, so then it's a mitzvah say shazman grama. It's defined by a specific time. You'd only wear it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but not on Shabbos. You only wear it during the day, night. So then women are not chayiv in it. If women are chayiv in it, then if they wear it, they're over and Bal Taisif. That's how Rashi learns. The over and Bal Taisif. If you're not chayiv in a mitzvah, you do it Bal Taisif. Turning to Daf Amud Beis, sponsored by Dr. Alan Listhouse. And Mary, my mother, Shendel Bad Aaron Hirsch, and a bracha by her son, Dr. Alan Listhouse. Sponsored by the Austin and Tobias families. Lili Nishmas Arbabi Zissel Bas Chaim. Says the Gemara, V'dilma Savarlo. Whoa! And that's what everybody's probably thinking, this question. Rabbi Yossi hold. I was thinking about it when we learned it. We had a lot of fun when we were learning Chulin. We were a hands-on shear. I heard somebody saying yesterday, we brought a sheep and we shechted it. We actually brought a chalif. Somebody, I forgot who it was, brought a knife and we were testing it on our nails. And we had animal parts and we made mincha, the whole thing. So one day, Avi Kamiansky, when he was on a bike ride in the mountains here in Bet Shemesh, he found an Arab. He paid him a few dollars, and he did a tnufa on video. He lifted up this thing, and he did mamash, like you shake a lulav, a daled ruchas with the animal. That's tnufa. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he did smicha. That's what we're talking about, because we're learning that sugi of tnufa. I hope he also did smicha for the video. If he didn't, let's pretend he did. You put your entire weight on the animal's head. Now, the pasuk says, it's literally the second pasuk in Chumash Vayikra. We had this many times. Adam ki yakriv mikem karban. Adam, and then it says v'samach. It doesn't say v'samchu, v'samcha, v'samach zachar. Yadai, not yada. His hand. Smicha is for a man. Yet, Rabbi Yossi says nashim soimchais rishus. If a woman decides that she wants to do smicha. No. We'll see in a second. Later on, the Gemara is going to bring machlokes here if she's permitted. He holds permitted. Permitted? Okay, so she can wear tefillin, permitted. Why is it such a big deal? Not Bal Taisif. Does anybody think, obviously, there's only 3 Yom Tovim in a year, and they're very time dependent. So obviously it's a mitzvah say shazman groma to be oil regel. I just, there's a taisus on Amud Aleph, real quickly, if you want to see it. It's the second to last taisus, Michal Bas Kushi, and he says, smack in middle taisus, v'nir lefarish. The time of the Lamadom of the Le'aber shows, Mishum the Tefillin tzrichim guf noki. Tefillin need a clean body. We're worried about hafacha. V'nashim ein zrizis lizar. Interesting. V'ali l'regel, Mishum the mechzik mevia chulun la'azara. She's bringing chulun to la'azara. Fine. Just wanted to point that out. Obviously, going aliyah l'regel 3 times a year is a zman groma. It doesn't get any more zman groma than that. Yet, nobody said anything. She did aliyah l'regel. How come nobody told me that my... Where's Gary? Schluffen today. Okay, I think it's better. Still not good. It looks very off. Okay, whatever. Whoever suffered until now, you suffer weiter. Sorry. El Gazaver, it's all Gary's fault. El Gazaver shows. What's going on there? I can't look at it. Oh no, I'm looking at my thing here. I'm changing that and okay, fine. Okay. El Gazaver shows. So there's nothing to do. We can't bring a good raya from them. Elo, hi Tanohi. So who says that you can wear tefillin on Shabbos? The Sanya, Amoitz tefillin. So this is basically like our Mishnah, but like a Brisa likes to do, they add a little bit. How much is tefillin? This is how the parak started. You find tefillin, they're in a sakana. They're going to, as Taisus explains, the dog is going to come and eat it. Machnis and zug zug. You can only wear one pair at a time. Echad ish, vechad isha. Ooh, that's a little bit different than our Mishnah. Sticks in a woman. A woman can also save tefillin. That's a very good raya l'chayr. We'll see in a second. Echad chadashis vechad yishanos. Divrei Meir. Even tefillin that might be new, it might be an amulet, it might be a kameya, you could save according to Rameir. Rabbi Yehuda oise b'chadashos, umatabi yishanos. He argues on one point. He argues, if you find tefillin that are brand new and you're not sure if it's a tefillin or a kameya, don't save it. The whole machlok is only brand new tefillin. Nobody argues that a woman could save. Shma minam is as a shaloya zman grama. Why could a woman save tefillin on Shabbos? What right does she have to wear tefillin that are muktzah? It's not a tachshit for her, that's for sure not, because since she never wears it during the week, fine. I'm talking like Rishayim under my breath over here, whatever. So, Rabbi said something's weird. We have 100 participants right now on Zoom. I don't know what it is. It's always like does somebody go there and there's 99, he puts it. I don't have shot. Maybe we're stuck. Maybe more than 100 can't go on today. We have to look into it. And nobody's even trying to go to 101. Fine. The whole mitzvah is mangrama, noshen chayavos. So you see from here that tefillin is a mitzvah she'ein as mangrama. In other words, you chayiv to wear tefillin on Shabbos. To wear tefillin, not chayiv. You could wear tefillin on Shabbos. You could wear tefillin at night. So there's no time limitations to tefillin. And then mela, if there's no time limitation to tefillin, women are part of the mitzvah. If they were part of the mitzvah, they could save it. Otherwise, why would the Brisa say that a woman could save tefillin? Says the Gemara, what's your raya? Maybe they hold like Rabbi Yossi, who holds that even if a woman is not chayiv in a mitzvah, if she feels like doing smicha, she can do smicha. If she feels like wearing tefillin, she can wear tefillin even though she's not chayiv. Says the Gemara, and this is a whole sugya in Rishayim and do what? This is a sugya in Rishayim. Do women make a bracha on mitzvahs? Let's say they shake a lulav. Do they make the bracha? Not. Yes. Over here, Taisus brings down. It's very interesting. How do we say a sheket shana b'mitzvahs of etzivanu lahadik ner shechanaka? Because Baruch Hu told us the lahadik ner shechanaka. Chachamim told us. The answer is because Chachamim told us, and we are mechuyev to listen to Chachamim because loisasur. You have the women, on the other hand, says Taisvis, Avalisha de'enu mechayva afilim b'drabanan b'mitzvah say shezman grama. Different. And then I just want to point very interesting Taisvis here. Taisvis says a woman gets up and gets an aliyah. How does she make an aliyah? And he says that the aliyah brach that we make is not because we're mechuyev in Torah. We make an aliyah. If a kohen gets 2 aliyahs in a row, he'll make the same bracha again and again. So it has nothing to do with our chiyuv of Torah. It has to do with the aliyah and Mela, women aliyah. Ayin sham, women in aliyahs. Great. If you want to see it, it's right by the wide line, the first wide line, and you can go up like 3 lines before that to see it. Fine. Zog the Gemara. But that can't be. It can't be that we hold mitzvah when they're not mechuyev, they can do the mitzvah. Why? Neither Rabbi Meir or Rabbi Yehuda hold like Rabbi Yosi, and we're going to show you why. And if they don't hold like Rabbi Yosi, so they can hold that a woman can just pick and choose. Over here, tinoikos doesn't mean girls; it means boys, young children. If a young child on Rosh Hashanah grabs a shofar and starts blowing, don't tell him to stop. Why? Because you're mechuyev in chinuch. Teach him how to blow a shofar. It's not a problem. But you can be medayik kanoshim ma'akvim. If a woman grabs a shofar, to stop. Can't blow on yonti. Can't make that noise. Ustam masnisim Rebbe Meir, as we said yesterday. An anonymous in the Mishnah is Rebbe Meir, and Rebbe Meir says this halacha. She cannot just pick and choose. She can't just grab a shofar and start blowing Rosh Hashanah. She's not part of it. So if she can't blow a shofar, she can't do smicha. She can't wear tefillin. V'lo Rabbi Yehuda savalak Rabbi Yosi. Neither can Rabbi Yehuda, right? I know everybody's thinking, Rashi's daughter, right? I think that's what they say. Rashi's daughter wore tefillin. Forget Rashi's daughter. Michal Bas Shol wore tefillin. And Rabbi Yehuda also can't hold like Rabbi Yosi that if they decide to wear tefillin, they can, even though they have no mitzvah. Obviously, they have a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah saseish as mangra. The Sanyo, it says in the Safra, Torah's Kahanim, it says, Daber b'nei Yisrael v'samach. This pasuk. V'samach. B'nei Yisrael soimchim ve'b'nei Yisrael soimchos. Only men. It says v'samach, lashon zachar, yodai. Rabbi Yosi and Rabbi Shimon oimrim nashim soimchos rishos. And Rabbi Shimon argues, and he says, no, women, if they feel like doing smicha, lean on the animal's head, they can. Ustam tzifra mani, Rabbi Yehuda. So the Tanakama who says a woman is not allowed to do smicha, it's also for her. She wants to be machmer. No, you can't be machmer. So if you can't, so Melo, the fact that Rabbi Yehuda allows a woman to carry tefillin, to save tefillin on Shabbos, so does Rabbi Meir. Obviously, they hold that it's not a mitzvah as mangrama, that Shabbos is a day you could wear tefillin. So finally we have 2 mandamrim, Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. Again, a woman save tefillin on Shabbos. Why? It must be that she's mechuyev in the mitzvah. That it's a mitzvah saseh shaloi as mangrama. It's not dependent on time. What does that mean? It's not dependent on time. You wear tefillin on Shabbos. You wear tefillin at night. 365, 24/7. You wear tefillin. And memela, a woman is chayiv. If a woman is chayiv, she could save tefillin. But don't tell me that a woman is not chayiv and she could save it because if she feels like it, she can do a mitzvah. Because we just proved that Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir hold she cannot do mitzvahs if she's not mechuyev. So tefillin is a mitzvah that a woman is chayiv. In other words, we're trying to prove that Shabbos is a day that you chayiv in tefillin according to Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda, which are tremendous mandamim. Stam Mishnah Rabbi Meir, or Rabbi Lazar. Final sugya for today. Rabbi Lazar, completely new sugya. If you find blue wool, you're walking around. As we know, today is very expensive, even today. L'shonis, that's why nobody wears tchelis. Not because Reb Chaim said that it's nignaz, it's because it's very expensive. Uncle Phil said that's not the reason. I'm kidding. If you find, you know that when I was in Borough Park, I noticed Eli Dykman wears tchelis. Some of the chaver they were wearing tchelis. What's going on here? You guys, because of the shir? No shaykhs. They do their own thing over there. Eli, what's your Rav's name? I can't remember the name. Rabbi Sai, I'm serious. I was so impressed by a community. If you ever live in Borough Park, that is the community. 400 men daven in this place. The Rav, they're all Hasidim, Streimach. The Rav wears like a down hat, a short rekel, but he's a Hungarian. I don't know what he wears in Shabbat. Long beard. What's his name? A long rekel, long rekel, but a down hat. These guys are each one after another, the greatest guys. Seriously, like he's stark, but the guys in his community are like normal, down to earth Hasidim that love to learn. They constantly go to shiurim, but they're normal, gishmaki guys. I can't explain it. It's a place to be. Anyway, what's his name again? Eisenberg. I forget. Terrible names. Fine. Rabbi Eisenberg. He has videos and Zachen. He's unbelievable. And I went to Barbag. I didn't meet him. I'll have to go now. Bezer Hashem. But these guys are from Lakewood. So Mustama Chassan. No, Chassan, my brother, is the Kala. She's from Farakwe. Okay, fine. We'll figure it out. If you find large strips, you can't rely on the fact that maybe somebody, maybe they made it from Kala Ilan, from some other product. Maybe it's not the real deal. But if you see strings that looked at the tzitzis, kosher. He colored it chelas l'shem mitzvah. No, I'm sorry, the glima tavino. He did it for a beged. He did it for his coat. He didn't do it for tzitzis. So strings also. Says the Gemara b'shuzurim. They're twisted nicely, like we have 8 strings. Says Gemara Shazurim Nami, name Adaita the Sifsa the Glima Ifinu. Maybe he did it for a hem, like a scarf has these little things hanging down. Maybe for that. So the Gemara B'Mufsakim the Kulehai Vali Leitarchinchi. When they are very small, how do you make a scarf? You have a very long string, you make a whole scarf, and whatever's at the end stays there. But you don't take a tiny little string and sew it to the end of your scarf. So maybe if you have small little strings, it has to be for tzitzis and not for a coat. Does a person, you're telling me you're not matriach. And what about in our Mishnah? Our Mishnah would say that perhaps somebody made you know how hard it is to make tefillin? To put it in that press, you have to have this special design to make a square. So somebody's going to go so crazy and make a square for kameya? Tefillin new, but for kameya? Now I want to show you a picture. Stam, this is because we're already at the end of the year, we can do this. There are people that work very hard to make tefillin design. Let me show you. This guy is a football player. Shine. I had to show it to you. And if you think that it's a mistake, there was something behind him, same guy, different place. Antonio Brown, football player. In America, it's football, and I don't know what it's called in English. Fine. Zog the Gemara. It shouldn't be in the Torah thing, but I just thought, why not? A guy worked really hard to make tefillin. For no reason, for his hair. So some people make very matriach for kameya. Yes.
I'm just curious how you found that.
Somebody sent it to me. I appreciate when you send me things. This nan b'medvar mamurim b'yishonos avol b'chadosha is potter. I didn't go around the internet looking for tefillin on certain Black Lives Matter. No, I didn't do that. Amr b'zeira. So you see that people are matriach for crazy things. Now this is a pella. If you named your son Ahava, they would throw you out of shul. Omer b'zeira lahava berei. Idi ber Ahava. I don't know. I thought over Rabbi Bar. What's his name? Rabbi Idi ber Ahava. I think it was. So maybe it's his mother. Over here it says Mufurish. Ahava is a boy's name. Rabbi Kanievsky would not be happy. Do Shini Hashem immediately. Puk Tenei Lahu. I have a brisa, he says. What's the problem? I have a brisa. It says Mufurish in the brisa. Why? And it says Mufurish in my brisa. Go outside, teach these talmidim that don't know. I have a great brisa. It says Mufurish. A person is not matriach. What do you tell me, Rav? A person is matriach. Oh my Rava, you think I'm scared about your brisa? Umishum the Tanila, I have a bereder ibzera, kaifi, talala. You put jewelry on it. You made it all pretty. Doesn't mean anything to me. But now, because I have a Mishnah. It says mufurish that if you find new tefillin, do not save it. Why? Because people are matriach. At the end of the day, it's a machlokes whether or not people will be matriach to do so, to make kameas in the shape of a tefillin. The sanya hamoitz tefillin machnisan zug zug. If you find tefillin, you can only save one pair at a time. Echad the ish, echad the isha, whether it's a man or a woman. Echad chadash v'echad yishonis. Divir Meir. Rabbi Yehuda, I said b'chadashis, we had this. Rabbi Yehuda says it's awesome and brand new, mad be yishanais. Alma, the Gemara finishes off. The Tzadik Zayin with Aleph on top. Mar Sovar Torachinish, Umar Sovar Leitorach. What's the machlokes between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda? Whether or not people will go to great lengths to make a kameya, an amulet, just write it and put it in a plastic bag like they do today. And that is the machlokes. Mamela, if I find one like that, l'chayra, it's a pure tefillin, save it, have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos, a gewaldige day. Uh-huh. Amen. Rabbi Isai, today's newsletter bigger than last week. It's getting or what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Or Merkaz or something. So if you have any ideas, be in touch with the Chevra. I believe, I don't know, I didn't see it, but I know that my Chavrusa wrote something, Nogea L'Maisa, La'alacha, whatever. Oh, Matzi Shabbos, 7 o'clock, same time as last week. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, 7 o'clock. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Rabbi Bernard, I saw the video from the video that you made on the Eruv. Beautiful stuff, really, really good. Halavai, more people should send in such great stuff. Great Eruv, unbelievable, like world class. I spoke to the guy that made it and then funded it. It was unbelievable. Okay, shkoyach. Yes, I got a package. I got a Cafe Bustela here. I don't know if I have to toivel it. People think you don't have to be toivel it, but I believe you do have to halachically. That's what I just heard. So
you use it one time and then you throw it away. You don't have to
this is gold. This is gold. One time. First of all, that's a kula. It's a kula azah. Right. Oi, my toiveler just left.
7 o'clock on Motzi Shabbos.
Gedalia, what's your thing? Oh, Mazel Tov. Which the Psuras Toivas. I don't know if Mazel Tov is the word, but Psuras Toivas. Jason, what were you saying? I didn't hear what you said, Jason.
Complete recovery.
Yeah. How you doing? Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Look, he's sneaking in slowly but surely. He's going to have a seat next to his son. He's going to join us, Bezer Hashem.
Is the middle of Avos Subanim time in shul, like on Motzi Shabbos.
I know. But I don't, but you know what? I don't know, because the problem is people want to do stuff on Motzi Shabbos. They want to go out. They want to this. And we do it too late. It becomes like they're taking their wives out. I don't know exactly what that is. I heard there's such a thing. Aaron Shields. Hold on a second. Aaron Shields. I just saw his name pop up on the screen. Did anybody see him? Oh, he must have gone. I just saw him.